there's a big debate about AI in this space, right? But I think it's really inevitable that AI is going to affect what we do in talent acquisition. If it's not already, I'm a little concerned.
Good morning from the Northeast. Hey, Jess, how are you?
Good. How are you, Christine?
Good. Welcome to Talent Architects, everybody. This is Lindsey Roundtree. Lindsey Roundtree is our Director of Product and Director of Recruitment. Those two crisscross. Lindsey's on today because we know you've been following us about AI. And everybody's been following Lindsey about AI. Because early on, she and her team started to adapt different things. So, Lindsey, I'm so happy you're here today. Say hi to the crowd.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, right. So, before we get going, I just want to address the elephant in the room for jobs, right? So last week we had a jobs report that I've heard said, "Oh, this is what we expected to. This is not too terribly bad." So, oh my gosh, the economy's crashing. So I just want a word of caution. Minus 23,000 jobs added is not a number that's really scary. It's 1 month. If you look at what's happened over the last 18 months, we've had some really big scares and data that didn't exist, data that's been adjusted. I don't know about you and Lindsey and Jess, but I'm kind of of the mindset of let's let this month go and see where we go from there. And really, minus 23,000 jobs is not that bad. Mm-hmm. And today is August 12th, by the way, 2026. And I'd also like to add that I don't think that I think it's a catch-up number, right? Like, I think things have eased up more and we're seeing more hiring now than we did before. Is it like a boom hiring economy? No, but I think things have picked up and I think these numbers are often reflective of what happened months previous. Anybody have anything to add to that?
No, I would definitely agree. You need to take in consideration the catch-up time for the data. And I know just within my peer network of talent acquisition, I'm seeing lots of people accepting new leadership positions in TA. So to me, the need for that leadership in TA means that there's more hiring for us down the road.
I'm seeing the same thing, Jess. I'm seeing a lot of my network move into new roles, higher level roles. We're also seeing a lot of like chief of AI roles come up, which I think is super interesting, right? We're seeing a lot of the bigger organizations make that move and pivot and open that role, which I think in turn is going to build even bigger teams around AI analytics. And we'll see as those leaders come into play that they will be staffing teams underneath them too. So I know everybody's so concerned about AI coming in and taking over our jobs, but I think we're forgetting the job creation that's happening behind it as well sometimes.
Great.
Awesome. And let's get right into the meat of it. Let me just do a quick introduction. So if you aren't familiar with People Science, we do everything talent acquisition, advisory. We are an RPO as well, probably one of the first and one of the few pure play RPOs that are still out there. And then also contract recruiting and support in that respect, and certainly our software Hiregate. Lindsey's going to talk to us today about the AI data that we're collecting in talent acquisition, what it's telling her and her teams now, and other good things that she's hearing. So, Lindsey, tell us about what you're seeing and what you're hearing as far as AI in the talent acquisition space is concerned.
So, there's a big debate about AI in this space, right? But I think it's really inevitable that AI is going to affect what we do in talent acquisition. If it's not already, I'm a little concerned because it really is coming in and alleviating a lot of the pain points, the more administrative type tasks, and that's only going to grow from there. So some of the things that we're doing with our product Hiregate is, we're lucky enough to have our own internal developer. So we've been able to pivot and collect different data sets than maybe some other technologies out there have been able to do. So most recently, we implemented for one of our larger telecom clients, a scheduling automation piece, right? Don't want to be specific on the products because I think there are a lot of great products out there, but I'm sure you can assume who this one is in particular. And so what we did is we gave the candidates and the hiring managers autonomy to schedule. And so alleviating that burden from our recruiters when it comes to going through the mechanics of scheduling with those limitations and putting it back in the hands of the candidates with the aid of the AI bot that's assisting them through the process. Our findings have been great. So in month 1, we saw our time to interview drop by 3 days. We've been tracking this for 3 months now, and our time to interview in the high volume space in particular, because this will look different in different arms of recruiting, it's actually dropped by 8 days currently. And I anticipate by the end of this month, we'll see that drop by maybe another day and a half. So really, what's that story telling us right now is that giving the addition of AI and allowing our hiring managers and our candidates to have more autonomy of their own schedules is actually accelerating the process. 8 days is a huge win. Think about cutting 8 days out of your interview process and what that looks like on the back end. We've now just dropped at least 3-4 days out of your time to fill number, which is something everybody wants to celebrate right now, right? So that's really been step 1 for us. You absolutely have to go through the mechanics of tracking the data before you can say, I'm utilizing this tool well, it's working for us. So we talk a lot about showing the ROI of the AI, but let's make it relative to our actual staff. Let's make it relative to the candidate experience as well. And so a lot of this tracking is bleeding through to those areas. So the next step for us now is looking at where the AI bot is in the process for us when it comes to the first round interview, right? A lot of us are, that are out there that are interviewing, are seeing, the first screen is a lot of the time going to be an AI bot right now, especially in the tech space. If you're in the tech space and you're not using some kind of AI, you may not be capturing those AI leaders who are interested in your organization. So I just want everybody to kind of keep that in mind. That being said, though, what we're seeing happen a lot right now is that AI bot, we already know it's faster, right? I apply for a position, the AI bot reaches out to me within 10 minutes of apply and auto schedules me to have the conversation with them. It's really important you pick the right AI tool so you can set your own parameters. That being said, though, it's really accelerating that process. So I'm a full-time recruiter, I'm looking for a job. I'm not going to be applying during my 9 to 5 when another recruiter is going to respond to me to schedule an interview to have a conversation with me. So having AI play a part in that and say, you applied at 2 a.m. on a Saturday and you're actually interviewing with the AI bot by 3 a.m. on Saturday because you chose to, really accelerating the actual time to interview with the recruiter, which is wonderful. But and I noticed that, the AI bot is doing that first screen for a lot of people, maybe more people than your recruiters would pick out of a pipeline, right? So what I'm really interested in seeing now is what is the outcome of the candidates that have AI in their recruiting process. Are they stronger fits? Are they sticking in the positions longer? That accelerated process, how did it affect their experience as a candidate? And so on the Hiregate side of things we've really worked in tracking who is being touched by AI in what stage, so that as they roll into their 30, 60, 90-day phases with their new organization, what are those outcomes? Are they staying in those roles? Were they a stronger match? Or do we really need to look at keeping certain parts of the recruiting process manual because they are stronger fits? So I just really started tracking this data most recently, so I don't have the answers yet. And I think the answer will look different dependent on the type of recruiting that's being done. So I'm really itemizing these out into different categories around the type of recruiting that's being done at the executive level, at a technical level, at a high volume level, niche recruiting, clinical recruiting, right? Where are we seeing the most effective outcomes? But I'm really excited to see how this data shakes out over the next quarter, and we really get to see some of those outcomes. I really think knowing that where the stronger hires are coming from and how AI is affecting them in the recruiting process will help those who have yet to start automating really make the best decisions on where to start, right? We know bad data in means bad data out, but if we can start by looking at some of the outcomes we can quantify, then we really can come back and say, this should be your starting point for this hiring group, because it won't be the same for every hiring group. I would not just throw a schedule automation in for your C-suite recruiting, right? That may not be the the best outcome that you're looking for. But for high volume, we've already quantified it really makes sense. So I hope that that helps sum it up for you, Christine.
Pretty amazing what's happening. Things that, so that's like, to me, that's like the best case scenario that we could have at this point in time when it comes to introducing AI into the talent acquisition space, right? And, you know, Lindsey, I'm sure you'll commit to getting back to us with more data as you get it. And I think Hiregate is a product, right? So we drew a line in the sand maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and we said when we look at the trajectory of AI in TA, I really see the majority of the position, and you'll hear me say over and over again, look at your situation and say, AI is going to manage all of it. Where do the people fit as compared to, here's my recruiting continuum. Where do I put AI? So there's like two components that we're working at using Hiregate, right? And that is that we're augmenting, like Lindsey is saying, plugging it in where it works, watching it with our clients, helping you get there. But the future state, the majority of this work will be automated. The thinking, the planning, the work architecting will come from our recruiters. Really exciting time to be in TA. Thank you so much for joining us. Lindsey's got a lot of good work out there. Follow her at People Science. Follow her here. Lynn, you'll be jumping on with us maybe once or twice a month at least, right? And then our big live webinar you'll be on. I'm looking forward to hearing how everything moves. Thank you, everybody. Anybody have Jess, anything to add? Lindsey, last words?
No, thanks, Lindsey, for coming on and sharing this AI journey. Looking forward to learning more about the outcomes as time goes on.
Awesome. No, thank you so much for having me. I've always lived and breathed the data because we have to in our RPO space, right? It's what really helps set us apart from the rest, but really adding in the AI piece and watching it grow and foster has been so exciting. So if anybody wants to learn more about it, learn more about how we are tracking and the tools that are available, please reach out to me. Product has become my passion over the last year or so as I've moved farther into the product side, and I would love to continue the conversation with some other brilliant folks out there who are just as interested as we are.
Yes, and definitely follow Lindsey on LinkedIn. She shares a lot of these updates and thoughts. So
every Friday, you'll get a data update from me on where we are with AI if you follow me on LinkedIn. So looking forward to your curiosity as well.
She answers too. She will get back to you. She will give you an answer. So there's a little gold mine in here for you. Thanks so much, Lindsey. We'll be talking again soon. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great day.